Hey guys, Sonic Smash Bros. Here, and another ranked season, another successful climb with Synchrons and the King of Games. Although this time around, let's just say it's less of a Synchron build and more of a junk build, because I chose to keep it very simple. Yeah, if you can't tell, I kept it incredibly simple this time around and very straightforward, to the point, and just consistent, for the most part anyway. There's still some issues with it. Anyhow, for one last time before Pulse of the Quasars comes around and changes how we play Synchrons, let's take a look at this build with Shooting Star Road first and foremost. Same basic deal, place a junk converter in your graveyard at the start of the duel, and if you control Stardust Dragon, play Formula Synchron to the field from outside of a deck, and you can place Turbo Synchron, Nitro Synchron, and Hyper Synchron on top of your deck from outside of your deck. And for the rest of that turn and the opponent's next turn, you are locked into Wind Dragon Synchro Monsters or Warrior Synchro Monsters. And as usual, the deck must contain at least 8 in combination of Junk or Synchron monsters, and the extra deck needs at least Shooting Star Dragon, and 4 in combination of Junk, Synchron, or Stardust monsters. Same basic deal. Pardon if you hear some stuff in the background, apparently this mic is a bit sensitive. I'm kind of having to record this early in the morning. Anyway, simple, straight to the point, triple Junk Synchron, triple Junk Servant, and triple Junk Changer. So, basically, our core here is Junk Synchron. When normal summon, target a level 2 or lower engrave, special summon and defense with effects negated. You're only ever going for Junk Converter with this. Junk Servant if you control a Junk monster, special summon from hand. And, of course, the Junk Changer. When normal or special summon, you can target a junk monster on field and change its level by 1, either an increase or a decrease. Basically, I wanted to keep the combos into Stardust Dragon simple and straight to the point. One for the basic combo, the main combo, and one for if I don't want to rely on the graveyard. For example, Infernoid or freaking Necro Valley. And that is literally it for monsters. Yeah, we keep things simple and straight to the point here. On to spells and traps, we do the one monster reborn, basic extender, sometimes special summoning from grave can come up, and you'll see that later. Well, the opponent's grave, anyway. Oh, get back in there! That happened. Anyway, double Forbidden Lance, target a monster on the field until the end of this turn, it loses the unarmed attack, but it's unaffected by the effects of other spell and trap cards. Back row is a bit broken, to say the least. We need ways around it. We need as many ways around it as possible. And speaking of which, triple Cosmic Cyclone, pay 1,000, target a spell or trap on field, and banish it. That does come up, especially in the Gravekeeper matchup, because, again, screw Necro Valley. And just screw Necro Valley in general. Only double tuning, because we have another way to play our combo, so we don't necessarily need 3. But it's essentially our way to search Junk Synchron in the middle of the top card. Once we get Synchro Overtake, in my opinion, we play Synchro Overtake instead. And triple compulsory. Target a monster on field, return to hand. It's mainly just an out to a lot of the dumb stuff running around right now. Mostly Phantom Knight shenanigans. Looking at you, Dark Rebellion. Or Dark Requiem, for that matter. Make them waste their PK run launch. That is always satisfying when that happens. Anyway, on to the extra deck. Our main heavy hitter, the Shooting Star Dragon. You know the drill. Excavate top 5 cards, shuffle them back in, and the number of attacks equals the number of tuners you revealed. Has destruction prevention, can banish itself to target a monster, negate its attack, and then return back to the field. All the same stuff you remember from the last 2 profiles. Stardust Warrior, same basic deal once again. During either player's turn, if your opponent would special summon a monster, not through an effect. Tribute, negate, destroy the monster. Has a float effect into other warriors, level 8 or below, if it gets destroyed or leaves the field. Because of an opponent's card, yes, even if it gets banished. And if it was tributed for the negation and was not negated itself, you can just return it back to the field. Same basic deal. Junk Destroyer, Destruction. When Synchro summoned, target cards up to the number of non-tuner monsters used for Synchro material and destroy those targets. Stardust Dragon, the classic in case you really need to, the destruction prevention from tributing is nice, but more often than not, we're using this to get the shooting star, and it does come back to the field much like Stardust Warrior does, once it's been tributed and the effect goes off successfully. Same basic deal. Most people know Stardust Dragon by now. Again, get back in here! Thank you. Anyway, the Brionac Dragon of the Ice Barrier, because yes, we can make Junk Changer level 2 or Junk Servant level 3, so sometimes this can come up still. Discard any number of cards, target the same amount of cards your opponent controls, and bounce them. Basic stuff. Doesn't come up as often as I would like, but it does come up. Junk Warrior, mainly there for the Shooting Star Road requirement. Gaining attack equal to level 2 or lower monsters you control. Basically never matters. Although it mattered quite a bit during the raid event for Zone. And yes, I have completed it already. And last but not least for Synchros, we have Crystron Amatrix. If Synchro Summoned, you can change any of your opponent's special summon monsters into defense mode. That's pretty much the only reason we use this, because sometimes we have to run stuff over that Shooting Star can't run over otherwise. Also, alternatively, we use this as our main climb into Stardust Warrior, so we can float into Junk Warrior later if worst comes to worst. And last but not least, our generic Cyberse Link 1. Oh, get back in there! That's the third time now. But yes, our generic Cyberse Link 1, yes, I finally have Link Disciple, and it is the preferred of the two. Because Salamangreat Baelinx is now at the limit 2, which, thank God, even though it's not enough, but thank God. Anyway, we still need an answer to Nightmare Corruptor Ibly, even though Mech Knights aren't quite as prominent as they used to be. Ibly is still very prominent, so we do need an answer. Once Ibly gets banned, I'm considering either Junk Archer still, or the second Stardust Dragon in case of Rocket Dragon Link. But, we'll see. I've already talked over all the basic alternatives, such as Scrap Iron Signal and whatnot beforehand, so I don't feel like going over those again. I said without saving, because nothing actually changed. I was just stupid. Anyway, as for the King of Games climb this season, yeah, I had only 2 attempts necessary in order to make it to King of Games successfully. So, not much to really talk about with that one. But what is worth talking about is our starting opponent. Just brand new to the game, we are dealing with Time Lords. Now, for anyone who seems to struggle with Time Lords and think they're busted, watch somebody who actually knows these effects.
A duelist's job is to give life to their
It is also worth noting, by the way, funny little thing. The day I actually did this guy was actually in my street replay.
And I won't let them
with Time Lords and the exact same list you're seeing from him here.
Believe in is pointless against me. Duel.
It's my turn.
Now, unfortunately, I opened kinda bad, but it works out in my favor for a little while.
I end my turn.
There is no hope for this world. It's my turn. I draw. Meteon the Time Lord.
So he opens Meteon.
With this battle,
And just the one set. Basic stuff. Basic opener. I intentionally flipped the Cosmic here, because if I don't, my life points get reduced to 2,000 because of Meteon's effect of having your life points, so I don't get to remove any more back row after that. And I believe that was Bottomless Trap Hole? Yes, it was.
This is the perfect test to go.
So with 1,500, I can still actually do something. I do have to set Junk Destroyer, or not Junk Destroyer, freaking Junk Servant. I'm thinking a little bit too far ahead, and they look a little bit similar in art. In fact, Junk Destroyer kind of looks like an evolution of Junk Servant now that I think about it. So, rule of thumb, don't attack the Time Lords head on, because they cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Kamion gets set, and I have to take a bit of a gamble here.
You're not the only one full of surprises. I flip over my face down card. I activate a quick place. You're not the only
The
one
Time
full of
Lords are
surprises.
susceptible to getting
I take
bounced.
over my face down card. I activate my trap card.
Of course, Zone can also use a compulsory of his own to make sure that the Time Lord that's about to return to the deck stays in his hand. So that's one way you can make use of
This is the perfect
back row
test
to
go beyond
your
my
advantage,
limits. It's my turn. I
and
draw.
intentionally use it on your own
I
monsters.
know what to do.
So we got the Junk Changer. That was a magic cylinder, by the way. So hey,
I
new card in the
activate
game.
my monster's
Cool.
effect.
Level 4,
The hopes of the
Junk
world
Servant on board.
coalesce
You know
to
the
a
drill.
single star. Let's rev it up. Take flight. Stardust Dragon.
And because this is a very special duel, it being Time Lords and all, I'm gonna let this play out. Because why wouldn't I?
Witness the bond with my cards.
So, Shooting Star Road, it should be clear that I have game, but I'm also worried about Kiteroid, because I know he has Kiteroid, I know he has Boxer Veil in there. For right now, anyway.
By the wings of destiny. Excel Synchro.
We don't have Cephalon, the Ultimate Time Lord, yet. He will be coming in the mini box today, along with the Shooting Quasar Dragon. Of course, I'm going to be playtesting that a lot. In fact, I've already got a list pretty much finished. I just need to grab the Quasar.
Shooting Star Dragon's effect activates.
So, Turbo, Nitro, Hyper, Changer, not quite 5 attacks.
From my hand, I activate a spell code.
So I actually take a bit of a gamble here.
Take flight.
I wish I could see the new future.
And he did not seem to have enough ways to
Everyone has
stop
the
me from
capability
taking
to
him
change their
down.
future. Why can't you understand that?
Because we knew one card in his hand was Kamion, right? So even if he had a Kiteroid, I could have played through it. Even if he had a Boxer Veil, I could have played through it. The only way he could have stopped me is if his other 2 cards in hand were Battle Hand Traps. Now, a couple of these I actually forget what I was dealing with. This climb was a bit weird. Oh wait, now I remember what this was. Speaking of weird, War Rocks of all things. And War Rocks, I'm gonna be honest with you, they suck. They really, really suck.
Witness the
But
bond
here's where
with my
things get a
cards.
little bit hilarious. This game played out super
Oh,
weird.
they're running. Let's
So
rev it
I
up.
bricked
True
like
duels
high
excel
hell,
all
right?
Challenges. So I'll take you on.
Duel. It's my turn. Okay.
So I just say for the lulz, take advantage of the 200 attack and field to the Warriors, and just summon both my Junk
I
Servants.
end my turn.
Here I go. It's my turn. I draw. From my hand,
Play the field spell, Warrock Mountain, except no, you will not be doing that. Field spells are treated under the same rule as continuous spells, pro tip.
I summon a monster and attack as my monster's effect activates. Alright. Nice. Okay. I exceed summon a
So for
monster.
some reason, he overlays into Zubaba General, and I'm taking advantage of
I
this.
flip over my face down card.
Let's
I
battle.
activate my
I
trick.
end my
It's
He's
mine.
got nothing left.
I draw. I set a card.
Neither do I, apparently.
To attack. Take this. I attack. Go. I attack.
So this
directly.
turn just turned into Junk Servant Beatdown.
Let's see what you can
This
do.
duel ain't looking too good.
I end my turn.
I set a card. Okay. I some battle. Take this.
You're not the only
Sit,
one full of
summon,
surprises.
battle. Except I have Cosmic, so for once that actually came in handy.
My monster's effect
I
activates.
won't give up.
So basically, I need a monster to be able to stop
Turn's done.
him.
I knew you'd be a
Otherwise, it's over. But here's the weird one.
I draw.
Remember how I said summoning from the opponent's graveyard can come up sometimes?
Spell card.
This is an example of what I mean.
Okay. I'm not
Summon back his
scared to attack.
own Warrock
Let's battle.
Gyarados.
Here I go. Attack.
So the two crash into each other, and Junk Servant just finishes the rest. Yeah, this just turned into Junk Servant Beatdown. I bricked that freaking badly.
I hate hate to admit it, but you got the better of me this time.
As a duelist, I believe...
And yeah, as I said, it's less of a Synchron build and more of a junk build, but it's essentially Synchron still. But now here's where things get a little bit interesting, to say the least, after that absolute weirdness.
A duelist's job with my cards and my friends by my...
When you see my duel! Alright! My turn. From my hand...
We are dealing with Simorg, and without their Toxic Link 3.
This monster's gonna give you a heart to activate my monster's effect. This monster's gonna give me activate my monster's effect.
So, I'm not even aware of what's going on. So basically, he's just relying on the one back row and setting up a wall, right? Top deck junk Synchron. Thankfully enough.
Okay. Even the tiniest scrap has value. And this monster will prove it. Synchro Summon.
And the classic Junk Warrior. Normally I would have gone pressure on Amatrix, but I have a feeling I have game here.
Up here, Junk Warrior.
And we'll let this summon animation play out, because this is one of the only times I actually summoned him during this climb. And it's Junk Warrior. Why wouldn't you let it play out? He is freaking awesome.
Gains the attack of my level 2 or lower monster. I activate my monster's effect.
So we just do the usual.
Monster, Junk Sync. I'm counting on it. I spent okay.
And then I get the idea to special summon both my Junk Servants. You may be wondering why I'm doing that, considering they get reduced attack due to Great Fly here.
Take flight, Stardust Dragon.
I have a reason for this.
Card has power.
You'll see soon enough.
Let's rev it up. Spread your wings and soar to new heights. Be transformed by the winds of destiny. Excel Synchro.
That never gets old.
Up here, Shooting Star Dragon. I set a card.
So I set the compulsory just in case. Those 3 tuners end up being all I need, but I end up getting a 4th one anyway.
Battle. Shooting Star Dragon attacks.
So, in running over the Great Fly here,
Now's my chance. I activate my monster's effect.
also returning a wind monster to hand,
I go.
the Junk Servants get to run over 2 of the Simorgs for me,
My monster attack.
leaving my last 2 attacks
Here I go. I attack you directly.
to go absolutely wild with Shooting Star Dragon.
Growing up on the street.
And yes, I kept the lance in hand just in case that back row meant something, but turns out it was MST. And I know it was MST because I didn't get a prompt there until after I set the compulsory. And so, 4th up in this climb. Remember how I said sometimes you don't want to be special summoning from graveyard? Or in some cases, sometimes you can't? This is one of those times.
Witness the bond with my
We are dealing
Yugi.
with the
Please
obnoxiousness and
If you are a
toxicity
true duelist,
that is
I expect nothing
Gravekeepers.
less than your best strategies.
Duel.
It's my turn. From my hand, my field spell activates.
So right out the
my
gate,
secret card.
Necro Valley.
Here I go. I summon a monster.
Set 1, that's their counter trap, there's a Gravekeeper on board,
Draw. From my hand.
and the top deck Cosmic actually saves me. So, pro tip, In this situation, do not chain Cosmics. Activate them separately. First go for the counter trap, which, yes, it was in fact Imperial Tombs of Necro Valley, their counter trap, and then go for the field spell. From here, I was just free to wreck shop.
The tuner monster Junk Synchron! Junk Synchron's effect! I need your help. I'm counting on you. I set a card. Even the tiniest scrap has value. Appear, Junk Warrior!
And just to flex on this guy for playing frickin' Necro Valley. Yeah, screw off. So you should know how this song and dance goes.
The tuner monster jumps. The hopes of the world coalesce into a single star. Take flight, Stardust Dragon! Each card has power. Let's rev it up. Spread your wings and soar to new heights.
And yeah, again,
By the winds of destiny. Excel Synchro.
this is what you get for playing Necro Valley.
Shooting Star Dragon. Shooting Star Dragon's effect activates.
I believe it was only 3 attacks this time. Yeah, but it's all I really need.
Congratulations. You win.
You believe in your cards just as much as I do, if not more. Thank you for a great duel, Yugi.
And with only 1 card in hand, if that was a hand trap to stop me in any way, it wouldn't have done anything. It would have had to have been Kiteroid specifically, and by then I would have known about that. Which means, no Destiny draw for you, you're basically down to 1 card in hand, and what can you do with that? And so, last up, I hate that I have to let this guy's voice play out because, yeah, Pendulum Floodgate. No, it's not Phantom Knights for once. Can you believe it?
Each card has power weight.
Yeah, can you tell I genuinely hate Arc 5 and especially hate Yuya in particular?
Duel-Tainer's Duel. It's my turn.
Also hate Gong, also hate Sawatari with a passion. Those 3 literally single-handedly would ruin Arc 5 anyway. Not even Yuzu can save it, or Reiji, or the return of Jack.
Special summon a monster. I know what to do.
So, here's the deal. I kind of misplay this here,
The tuner monster jumps the hopes of the world.
because I'm not banking on him doing one thing in particular right out the gate.
Stardust. Witness the. I end.
I'm supposed to go Stardust Warrior right away here,
I draw. Ladies and
and then he does this. This is why.
pendulum, carve the arc of victory. I know what to do. John K. Magician, come on out.
Formula Synchron's effect.
I activate John K. Magician's effect. Join the cast. I activate my monsters.
So I'm left without a shooting Star Dragon, right?
I activate my monsters effect. Join the cast. I exceed.
And then he just goes Evil Swarm Nightmare for some reason. I don't know why.
There's still hope for me. Here's my face down card.
Battle Phase, bounce the Nightmare, bounce the Janky Magician, and just for good measure,
Here's my face down card.
banish Zhang Sheng.
My game isn't cutting it. I gotta get a lot stronger.
The power
And he
of my
scoops
bond of
there
yours was the
when he
determining
genuinely threw that. Had he overlaid with the Radish Horse, he would have had something to at least run over Formula Synchron, and I would have been in trouble without a Junk Synchron top deck. But hey, I won't question a King of Games victory like that. So, yeah. As you can see, however, I've had to do more games in King of Games to get, well, the items to do the raid boss. Because I've been doing that, I have been grinding to high hell, and for a very good reason. As I mentioned many times. Also saving this, because this replay I am genuinely proud of. Let's just say people don't realize what I'm doing when I bring out Junk Changer. That is so ambiguous and I love it. And that's honestly the thing with Synchrons. You have the one straightforward main combo, but you also have the ambiguity of Junk Changer. Because believe it or not, people don't know what the point is of you making Junk Changer level 4. And then you bring out Junk Servant and that's a free Stardust Dragon. Meaning, you get out a Shooting Star but they can't respond to if it's Dark Requiem, which, yeah, that's one way to get around that. If they're stupid enough to let that go through, which a good number of people are, because, you know, nobody sees it coming, then you can just get through that. You can blow up said Dark Requiem without much of an issue. The big problem with Synchrons, however, is how reliant they are on the graveyard. Infernoid is way too common. Ways to get Junk Converter out of the graveyard are way too common. And in some cases, ways to just shut off the graveyard in general. So we always need backup plays. And Ice Dragon's Prison is also another one. And it's also the biggest problem of the broken back row of 3. I hate Ice Dragon Prison so much. But in general, this list for Synchrons, or in this case Junk I guess, is simple and straight to the point. It's effective at what it needs to do, and it does that consistently most of the time. Generally, if you're going second, you have one monster in hand. You have 8 cards that can give you game if that monster isn't Junk Synchron. 9 if you open Junk Changer, technically. Because yes, Junk Changer Monster Reborn Crystron Amatrix does come up once in a blue. It's funny when it happens, I didn't get to show it here, but it does come up and it's hilarious. So with that, that is it for the Shooting Star Road. As from here on out, I am going to be testing the new skill coming up for Yusei, a bond that illuminates the future. So look forward to some tests of that in particular, because I am really looking forward to being able to play Shooting Quasar Dragon and Duel Links finally. As for if I'll record pulling on the mini box, I'm not sure yet. Reason being, honestly, I'm not sure how much more I can record today. But I recorded all I basically need to for this. This is going to be the last time you see Shooting Star Road from me. So, it's been fun, and I will still go back to this skill for fun sometimes. Or if a bomb that illuminates the future sadly ends up proving to be kind of bad, which I don't have my hopes up. But we'll see how it goes. But until then, and until the next video in general, might be pulling for Dive Armor Zero, not sure. It depends on if he releases early or not. Later, guys.